I'm going to ask you a question, and I don't want you to answer it quickly. I want you to answer it honestly. If your business hits a wall tomorrow, who are the first three people that you would call? Not who you'd like to call, not who you wish you could call. Who would you actually call? The mentor who tells you the truth, the connector who always seems to know the right person, the friend who answers the phone no matter what. Can you name them? Most successful founders can't. Not because they don't know enough people, but because they never intentionally built a relationship system. They have thousands and thousands of contacts, hundreds, if not thousands, of LinkedIn connections, years of conversations, former clients, friends, mentors, business partners, podcast guests, community members. But when the moment comes, they don't know who matters most. That's exactly why I created your top 25. And before you think this is another networking exercise, it isn't. This isn't a list of 25 of the richest people that you know, or 25 of the most famous people that you know, or the 25 people that you're hoping that will someday become your clients. That's networking. This is stewardship. Your top 25 is about identifying the 25 relationships with the greatest potential for meaningful mutual value over the next several years. Notice the words meaningful, mutual value. Not value for you, value for both of you. Because the strongest relationships aren't built on transactions, they're built on contribution. And one of the biggest mistakes that I see founders make is waiting until they need something before thinking about somebody. They need an introduction. Now they've searched LinkedIn. They need to hire a key executive. Now they're trying to remember who mentioned something 6 months ago. They're raising capital. Now they're wondering which investor they met at that conference. They keep reacting, not preparing. And imagine waiting until your house catches fire before learning where the fire extinguisher is. It sounds ridiculous, but that's exactly how most people approach relationships. The founders who consistently create opportunities don't wait until they need help. They invest before the moment of need. Because trust is built before it's required. That's why I believe relationships deserve a system. Not because people should become projects. The opposite. Because people matter too much to leave to memory. Think about your own life. How many meaningful relationships are scattered across old emails, text messages, LinkedIn conversations, calendars, communities, podcast interviews, masterminds, your memory? Somebody tells you, we should go grab lunch. 6 months disappear and you promise to make an introduction. Life gets busy. A former client enters a new season. You hear about it after the opportunity has passed. None of that happens because you're a bad person. It happens because you don't have a system. That's why the workbook begins with something that I call my first 100. Before you identify your top 25, you remember first who's already in your world. It's amazing what comes back when you intentionally start writing names. Former clients, old coworkers, teachers, neighbors, friends, people who changed your life, people you changed. Then we begin evaluating those relationships, not by influence, not by wealth, not by status, but by trust, alignment, shared values, relationship energy, the likelihood your lives will meaningfully intersect, the opportunity to genuinely help each other. Then we organize them. Some become anchors, the people who keep you grounded. Some are connectors. They naturally bring great people together. Some are catalysts. They stretch your thinking. Some are builders. You create things together. And some are wild cards, relationships you don't fully understand yet, but you know they're important. Then comes what I believe is the most important part, relationship rhythm. Because relationships don't grow through one big moment. They grow through dozens of small ones. Checking in, remembering, celebrating, encouraging, making thoughtful introductions, following through, showing up. That's what compounds. Not because you're trying to get something, but because you've become someone people genuinely trust. Over the last several years, hosting founder dinners, building communities, watching my son Leo interview over 150 remarkable people, making introductions almost every single day, and getting referrals coming back every single day, I've seen something happen over and over again. The people who create extraordinary opportunities aren't always the smartest, they aren't always the wealthiest, they aren't always the most connected. They're the people who intentionally invest in relationships long before there's any obvious return. They play the long game because they understand something most people don't. Contact lists don't compound, relationships do. trust compounds, generosity compounds, consistency compounds, and eventually opportunities compound too. So here's what I'd encourage you to do tonight. Open your phone. Don't look for opportunities, look for people. Start writing names, 100 if you can, and then ask yourself one simple question. If I could intentionally invest in only 25 relationships over the next 3 years, who would they be? That question might completely change the trajectory of your business, and it might even change your life. That's why I created your Top 25, the premium workbook. It's completely free. And inside, you're going to find practical exercises to help you identify the relationships that matter most, understand where they stand today, and begin intentionally investing in them. You can download it right now at yourtop25.com, because one relationship can change a business, one introduction can change a future, one conversation can change everything. Your future may already be one call away.